Hello, 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 and happy Sunday, everyone. I am super excited to be here with you tonight. It is day 6 of the Spotlight interview, and I'm very excited to be here interviewing the final speaker of the Cosmic Evolution Summit. And in the spotlight interviews, what I'm doing here is interviewing each speaker to get to know them on a personal level. Now, before I dive in with all of that, let me introduce myself. Reverend Joanne Angel Barry Cologne. I am the founder of Holistic Fitness and Why. I am a holistic integrative teacher, Reiki master, medical astrologer, master of numerology, card creator, card reader, and there's so much more to me. I serve and help women over 40, helping them to get strong, reminding them that weights are their friend. So with all that being said, I'm going to ask that you do me a favor and share out this show, as I'm going to do just now as well. I'm going to make sure I'm streaming on YouTube. Lower the sound first. I always forget to do that. And then we have the back noise going on. So I am streaming on YouTube. So if you are watching from YouTube, please go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. If you have not subscribed to my page yet, please do so. And then I'm going to go and land. I know that I am already on Twitter, so there's no need to check that out. And I'm going to go and land on Facebook, where most of you will probably be hanging out with me at. All right, so we are live on Facebook. Going to share this out to my friends as well. Love when technology is goofy. All right, sharing it out. Letting people know that we are here and ready to go and having fun. And like I said, if you can also share this out on your end, I'd appreciate it. The more people share, the more people know we're here. Alrighty, alrighty, alrighty. There we go. Hang in there. This part always takes a little time because I cannot type that fast. And if I do, there's always errors behind it. So no sense in typing that fast. All right. So here we have it. So again, super excited to be here with you tonight on day 6 of the Spotlight interview, as I'm going to be bringing in tonight, sharing with you the final speaker, which is, and I'm just going to introduce you by her first name so I don't bash up her last name, which is Krista. She's known as a life coach, teacher, and healer. And when she joins us on the Cosmic Evolution Summit, she's going to be sharing about crystal healing. So let's bring her on. Let's give her a nice big applause for jumping in. Hello, my darling. How are you?
I am well. How are you, Joanne?
I am magnificent. I'm feeling excited. I'm super excited for this day and really ready to get to know you. Now, for our viewers, for those who are watching, how this is going to work is I'm going to be asking Krista some questions, personal questions, so we can really get to know who she is. Not so much about who she is professionally, although, yeah, maybe 1 or 2 questions may pop up about that, but primarily so we can really get to know her. So, and I know a lot about Krista because she and I go way back. Like, what has it been, 4 or 5 years now? Since you
Yeah,
and I
2020. We met in 2020, so it's 4 years. Yeah,
4 years. Yes. I know Krista as the traveling crystal crone, because that's what she does. She travels. And with that being said, my first big question is, and interesting to know for that matter, since you have had the opportunity of traveling based on your husband's career, where have you traveled to that was the most exciting for you and why? Like one place that you traveled and what was exciting about it and why?
I think the most, for me, the most exciting, well, gosh, because I've traveled to all kinds of places, this is like a tough one. You're making me think.
Yes.
So, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to say it's not my most excited. It's probably, or my most exciting, but maybe my most surprising was when we went, we went to Romania. For my husband's job. He was with NATO at the time, and it was really exciting because I had never been at that point in East, well, I take that back. I had been in Hungary, but my exposure to Eastern Europe was so limited at that point still that I was surprised, and I felt that where we were, it was extremely, it, it was romantic and it was beautiful, and yet like it was frozen in time. It was really amazing.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And I just want to give a shout out to everyone who is watching right now. And if you are watching with us, please take a moment to share out. I want to say hello to Tracy, who is here, and thanking you for being here and spending your Sunday night with us. So, my next question
Yeah.
is, what is one thing your mother taught you that you appreciate as a mom, and why?
Mm. As a mom, one thing that my mom taught me, um, I think that, wow, so my mom taught me a lot, and I think the big thing is my independence and how to be self-sufficient, and the fact that I could, no matter what I put my mind to, I could do it. And as a mom myself of three kids, I I hope that I've been able to instill that as well with all three of them. I think I have. But yeah, that is, I for me, that has been the number one. And you don't really, yeah, I don't think I really realized it until you actually go out in the world and then you teach it to others and then you see it reflected back. Does,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, exactly. No, I totally get that. And I totally would get that even more. Again, once you become a mom, once you become a parent, then you can really
Mhm.
appreciate things that we actually do learn from our parents. So I love that answer from you. Next one, we're going to stay in the family energy for right now. And the next one is, you having two sons and a daughter. What
Yeah.
have you learned from each of them? What have you learned from each of them? Because they teach us things about ourselves. They teach us what they teach us. So from each one, and you can specify, and if you don't mind saying their names, that would be great.
No,
If you want to just say son one, son two, and daughter, however
nope.
works for you.
It's fine. I can say their names. So, I think what both my sons have taught me in different ways is 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 their own self-reliance, and the
Hmm.
fact that they listened and understood um, what it means when I would say to them, um, "Hey, we're each other's roommates, so you want to practice being a good roommate, and you want to practice being a good, part of being a good partner." And one of the things that they have shown me and reflected back, whether they're home or whether they're doing it for their friends, is the fact that that is something that they'll do. And then I'm always blown away. And Joanne, you may find this as well. When your kids say to you, so Gregory, he's our youngest son, and he really is kind of funny because he'll say these things, out of the mouths of babe. And he's always been like this. But I remember I made the comment how I needed to dim down my light a little bit, dim myself down to make other people comfortable. And he laughed and he said, as a matter of fact, he just walked down here and he says, Mom, he says, that's like trying to put a cloak on the sun. You can't
Oh,
you can't do that. And then, like, so something for my daughter, who I she has taught me um her own level of independence. And I say this because you're always blown away. Each kid, when you have three kids, you might say, oh yeah, they're all very self-sufficient and independent, but that comes at three different definitions,
mm-hmm.
because they're very different. But my daughter, yeah, she has taught me that. And then her ability to actually stand up for herself is so admirable. It's like it's one of those moments when you observe it being done, you go, damn, Did I
Hmm.
create that?
Yes, yes. So applause to you
So
for
those are my
creating.
things. So yeah,
Exactly. Applause to you for creating these amazing adults that you
Mm,
get to witness. And based on your one son saying when you made the statement of dimming your own light, I mean, for
yeah.
anyone who does not know Krista, the one thing for sure that even if she tried to dim her own light, I don't think it's virtually possible for her to do that. Just energetically, she has a huge energy about her. So even on a sick day, your light is bright. So
Yeah,
even
yeah.
on a sick day, yes, yes, and I can contest because I've witnessed Crystal on days where she wasn't at her, as she would put it, her 100%. And in my mind, I'm like, well, if this is not your 100%, I'd hate to see what it. Well, I've witnessed what it is because she's always at like 200%. So even my 100% is real. Yeah. So there's no dimming your light ever. So
Thank you, Joanne.
my pleasure. And I say that with such respect to you, based on your energy and how you show up in the world. So even on your worst day, you're still 100%.
Thank you. Yeah, no, and I want to say something to that because of the conversation my son and I were having. We all sometimes have that moment where we think that we have to let dim our light to make other people comfortable. You know what? If you feel like you have to do that, then you're in the wrong place. All right, folks.
Yes,
You're in the wrong place.
exactly. Exactly. And I actually think that that's like the best lesson or takeaway that anybody can actually take away from today is that if you feel like you do need to dim your light, you're really in the wrong place. So
You
if
really are.
anyone takes away anything, that's it. So if anybody wants to leave because they already got something from this, there you got it. But stay and hang out. Stay and hang out. All right. Now again, because I do happen to know Krista, I know she likes to dance. It's her
I
thing. She would do it on the three crows and the woo woo. If exactly. So my question to you, Krista, what is your favorite dance it out song? So when you're having, if there's such a thing, a bad day, what song do you put on so you can shake it out and feel good again?
okay. Shakira, hips don't lie.
Yes, love it.
I do. And really and truly, and it's kind of funny because I taught fitness classes and aerobic classes and stuff. I never use that as any of my music in my classes because I'm like, no, that's my song.
Yes. So now when we all listen to that song, we're gonna know that Krista is using that for her dance it out song. Because we all
It
have to
is.
have that one song that we can put on when our energy is feeling a little blah. Again, can you imagine Krista having low energy? No, because it just doesn't seem that way. Yeah. So I'm loving that that's your song. All right,
Yep.
next question. All right, let me see how I can say this. Let me see. Oh, here we go. And I wrote down the questions, by the way, people. It's like, let me see how I can say this. What has been your most challenging situation from up until now, and what did you do to overcome it?
Oh, hmm. Wow. So my life, because okay, my husband was in the military. He just retired from the Navy. I've encountered a lot of challenging moments in my life. Um, but I'm going to try to keep it. I'm going to keep one that's it's a bit more relatable for people, and that's just the generalization of moving, but moving with kids, and keeping it a positive experience
Mm,
and
yeah.
wanting, and having them, whether it was, from like Massachusetts to Virginia or Virginia to California or, Virginia to Australia or, whatever. I've done international moves with kids. I've done cross country moves with kids, and that is, I think, probably one of the most challenging things that I've done. And overall, it was just keeping it in terms of a positive. So we geared it as this is our new adventure. And
Yeah.
so everything was about the next adventure and looking at everything from that, you being a discoverer, or, an adventurer, or, so, so that they could create their own existence within this existence that we had to go and do.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
yeah.
So now, and again, this is not one of my questions. This is just a continuation of the question I just asked you. So now that all of that sort of has changed, because your husband is in a different chapter of his life now, and you're sort of
Yep.
settled where you're settled now. So less traveling based on his life, more traveling based on pleasure, maybe.
Yeah. I think that, yeah, travel definitely will be based more on pleasure. Right now we're in a sabbatical. And, just kind of enjoying, as my husband says, he's like, I'm just enjoying the fact that I can get up and say, I feel like doing nothing. So that's what my goal is for today. That
Exactly.
rarely happens. We usually have something that we're doing, but yeah.
Yes. And nothing is a lot of something when you really think about nothing.
Well, yeah, actually, our version of nothing isn't really, yeah.
Exactly. It's like a nothing day is a lot of nothing. And anybody who's ever experienced a nothing day can totally understand what that means. It's like that expression, when you know,
Yeah,
Exactly. All right, next question. Being that you have traveled and traveled a lot, what is the one crystal? The one crystal. I know you travel with a lot of them, but what is the one crystal that you must have with you, and why?
Wow. Okay, so that's a really good question. I would say, especially of late, over the last few years, the one crystal I haven't not traveled with, it's always with me, is labradorite. And because for me, it helps me to keep my energy as mine, and other people's energy as theirs.
Exactly.
I'm a firm believer in, I don't need to mess with your shit. And you don't need to mess with mine.
Exactly. I love that. And yes, I mean, as you travel and you're around so many people, that is a great crystal to definitely have and work with and play with. It's a beautiful crystal too, for that matter.
It is.
So yes,
It is.
it's almost like, if the lighting is right, it's almost like the color of your sweater you're wearing, if I'm not
It
mistaken.
is. And actually, so funny enough, here, I am actually wearing labradorite right now.
There you go.
We were out and about, Tracy and I, my energy was already low. And I was like, I need to wear labradorite because I don't need to be having other people's energy messing with my low energy. So yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If
So,
there's such a thing, that's going to be a theme tonight with Krista and I. Is there really such a thing of Krista's energy being low? I don't believe so. Anyway, we're going to move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Now, here's an interesting question. If you can only work with one modality, because you work with many, for the rest of your life, only one modality, what modality would that be, and why? Well, Krista works with a lot of modalities. She works with numbers. She works with crystals, obviously. She does aromatherapy. She's a Reiki master. And there's probably more to her that I'm not even aware of. But yes,
Yeah.
So if you can only work with one for the rest of your life, what is it and why?
Okay, so if I could only work with one modality for the rest of my life, that is really tough. One, I would be like, why? Why am I being limited? I don't like limitations.
I know. But
But
yeah, let's see what the answer is. What would it be?
so it's tough because crystals is typically for me my go-to, because it's easy. It's something you can wear as jewelry. It's something that you can carry in your pocket. However, the thing that I've been working with a lot of clients with of late, and I was teaching a lot of programs, is meditation and mindfulness. And I have come really to grow my appreciation further with that. And essentially, it also kind of packages everything I do as well in a nice little box with a bow on it.
All right. So we're going to give it to Krista that yes, she could use her meditation and without anyone knowing about it, because again, it was about what's that one modality that she would have to use for the rest of her life and no other. But we'll take meditation and mindfulness as the answer. So thank you. I know that was challenging
That
because of
one
that.
was, I have to say, Joanne. All right, I got to tell you, I am actually very surprised. You must have spent hours, like, or a long time. I'm loving these questions.
Yes, I would like to say I spent hours, but literally 10 minutes before we come on, I sit with Spirit and I asked Spirit to give me questions. Because again, if I had to sit here and really ask, like, what is the, I asked Spirit, I'm like, okay, give me some really good questions so I get to know you as much as the audience gets to know you. And I knew with yours it would be really exciting because of all the things you've done over the years and how much I do know of what you've done. So
Yeah,
I want to learn something sick.
I love it. I love it.
So the next question I'm going to ask has been a question that I've asked all of the interviewees, all of them. So this is not a unusual question. If you've had a chance to watch any of them, and if you haven't, you can go back later. So the
Yeah.
question is, here's the $1,000,000 question. If you can sit with one celebrity for 30 minutes, who would it be and what would you talk about?
Okay, I have heard that question, right? And I've actually thought about it because for me, I that one is a hard one for me. And I say this because I have met so many really amazing individuals that aren't celebrities.
Well, again,
Now, does this person have to be dead or alive? Because I
whatever works for you.
Okay.
Whatever. Yes, there's no wrong answer
So
here.
so I'm going to go with a person I still would love to sit with who has long since passed that is a celebrity, and that's Mother Teresa.
Ah, nice. And why? What would you talk about?
I would talk about her journey
Mm,
because I was born and raised a Catholic. I am not a practicing Catholic. But Mother Teresa, when I learned about her, she was a, a a person that I just gravitated to and towards because her humanity and what she did for others, I found to be beyond selfless.
mm,
And then when you actually learn more about her own struggle with her own journey, I
mm-hmm.
really would like to dive a little bit more into that because I think we all have struggle, and
Yes.
even those of us who are of service to others, whether they're of service to others in that depth, Mother Teresa, or whether you're in service to others in a different way, we all at one point or another start to question what it is that we're doing. And even me on my journey with being a healer and a life coach, and I mean there are things that I'll encounter with people, and I actually ask myself, it's like, so why me? Why am I this special person? But I know that I'm that person that they need to work with, even though I'm asking, well, why? So yeah, I think it would be Mother Teresa. I think
I
she's
love
a
that.
fascinating person.
Exactly. And I forget who was it who said, when someone had asked that question about, well, why me? And the answer would be, well, why not you?
You're right, and that's a very valid question. And I have to say that if I could have two people, Princess Diana would be the other one.
Oh, okay. Okay. And what would you want to talk to her about?
I want to ask her about her journey in terms of the philanthropy that she did and her selfless acts, because
Mm.
she was so caring. And there's a theme here.
Yes, there is. There definitely is. Which brings me to my next question.
Yeah.
What is one word that you would love to leave with a person when you leave them in that conversation? One word.
Oh, one word. Ooh. Mm. Grateful.
Grateful.
Grateful. Mm.
Love that.
Yeah,
Excellent. Excellent. And we don't need to explain why. The word itself says it all.
it is.
Yes. So my next question, what does balance mean for you? Balance. What does it mean to you and for you?
Okay, so balance for me is not a scale. I think a lot of people think of balance as a scale.
Mm-hmm.
I think of balance more as a triangle.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And I think of it actually as an equilateral triangle. A
Mm-hmm.
triquetra is frequently also what I think of it as, because the
Mm-hmm.
triquetra actually has flow as well with it. For me, balance is about being connected. You
I love
know,
that.
if you're connected with yourself on a mind, body, and spirit um,
Yes.
level, then no matter which way you turn the triangle, an equilateral triangle, there's always that flow within your life. And for me, that's when I think of balance, that's what I think of it. And I realize that for some people the word spirit might not, you can interchange that with soul, spirit,
Yes.
energy, whatever it is that that word means for you. But it is because our mind is separate from our body,
Yes.
and the energy, which is our spirit, is separate from all that. It's like, you're talking about three different levels of you. So that's
Yes.
what
And then also learning to sort of bring them together.
exactly. Yep.
Yes. Yes. One final actual question, and
Okay.
then another question after that final question. And
Okay.
that the one question is, in what would you like to accomplish in 2025?
Oh, that is. Oh, actually, I haven't even really, and I should be thinking about 2025 because we're in that last quarter.
Yes.
So yeah, that's a really great question. I think for me, I really would like to establish um, myself back here in the States, and with whether it's clients or students, and really be able to also not just have it via online, but to actually have that connection with people in person. I love the in-person connections I can have with folks. So yeah, that's would be my goal for 2025. And of course a lot of traveling.
Oh, more traveling, huh?
Oh
Not
yeah. Yeah,
haven't
we
had
want to travel.
haven't had your fill of traveling in all the times you've been traveling.
No,
Okay, excellent,
there's so
excellent.
much to see and do.
It's so funny, excellent, and it's so funny because Kimmy and I earlier today we were chatting about that exact thing about travel, and I won't go into it, but anyway. Final question: as your topic for the Cosmic Evolution Summit, being a crystal healer, what would you like the audience to take away from that topic when they come and listen to you speak?
Well, seriously, what I'd love for everyone to take away is I think a better understanding of how you actually already use crystals every day. And 9 times out of 10, you don't realize that they're already an active part of your life. But then how to bring awareness and to be able to use how to use crystals with intention. And
Yes.
a lot of people think that there's this great mystery around crystals, and all crystals want you to do is have fun with them. Really,
Yes.
they want you to play, and they want they want to enjoy that energy. So yeah, I
Yes.
want us
Yes.
to have fun and play with our crystals.
Yes. Because there's many people who are wearing crystals nowadays,
Yep.
and from my teachings, if there's no intention to the wearing, we're not getting the best from what they can do for us in
Yeah,
reference to the putting and all the healing that they apply.
exactly. I always love, so we had a German Shepherd as a dog, and anybody who's had a working dog knows that they need to have a job, and they need to feel
Yes.
like they're needed and that they're doing their thing. Well, it's the same with crystals. Crystals are like a German Shepherd. They need a job. They
Yes.
need that. And you can change that job. You can ask them to work, but they want to know, they want to play with you. They want you to play with them. They want that synergy of what they can do and what you can do. Yeah.
Yes, I love that. I love that. So this was so exciting, and I'm hoping that those who are watching with us right now
Mhm.
are just excited as I am based on learning all about you. And for those who are watching right now and those who are watching on replay, strolling across the stream is Krista's YouTube channel where you can go and learn all about her. And please circle on your calendar October 27th as Krista will be speaking, as she's one of our speakers. She will be coming on at
I think it's
3:30 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you are ready to learn more about her crystal healing and her journey and how to really play with your crystals, I urge you to come and join us on that day. So again, Krista, thank you so much for being so open and willing to answer all of my intense questions that Spirit guided me on. I cannot take any credit for any of these questions that show up because everything always gets downloaded by Spirit. So thank you. And I'm going to send Krista to the backstage and I'm going to share some more with our audience. Thank you so much, Krista.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, so that was a lot of fun. Again, day 6 of the Spotlight Summit interviews. And I'm super excited and really blessed to have had this amazing conversation with Krista to get to know more about her as I've had with the last 5. Now, if you haven't had an opportunity to check out all of the Spotlight interviews, I encourage you to go over to my YouTube channel, which is Holistic Fitness NY, and check them all out, get to know about them. So this way here, when you come on October 27th and you spend the entire day with me and spend the hours with them, you'll really get to know who they are. And it's a really great way to expand in your wisdom and knowledge and insight. So I want to thank every one of you who came here tonight and spent your 30 minutes with us, and looking forward to seeing you all again. Now, if you have not gotten your ticket, even though this is a free event for the Cosmic Evolution Summit, I encourage you to reach out to me so you can get your Zoom ticket so you can be in the room with us, because being in the room is going to give you literally hands-on access to each of the speakers where you can ask them questions and get the answer right then and there. Whereas if you're going to be watching on Facebook, typing in your question, we may not get to those questions based on the audience in the room. So there's a benefit to getting yourself a ticket. So I'm going to leave you with that. And again, I thank you so much for being here with us this evening. And until we meet again on the other side, have yourself an amazing night, everyone.